Keith Taylor, Green MEP for the South East. How pleased are you to have been re-elected here to the European Parliament?
Well, I'm very pleased to be re-elected to the Parliament. I spent 44 days away from my home on a 1964 Routemaster London bus burning chip fat, and the electorate listened and they gave me their votes, and in a difficult election for most parties, apart from UKIP, of course.
How important was it in this election for you to get the support? Because obviously last time round it was Caroline Lucas who was being voted in. You came in mid-term, so this was really the proof that you were up to the job in the eyes of your electorate.
Yeah, well, of course it was the Greens that got elected in 2009 and Caroline was the lead candidate, just in the same way as it was the Greens that got elected this year and I was the lead candidate. So of course I'm delighted and very humbled and very proud. And I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. We're back here in Brussels for the second day. We're now sorting out which committees we're going to be sitting on and looking forward to the challenges that lay ahead.
Are you hoping to sit in the same on the same committees as you did before? Where are your priorities going to lie now when the Parliament gets going again in July?
Well, it's all up for grabs. I was on the Transport and Tourism Committee last time, as well as the Development Committee. I made some very good contacts and very good friends, and I like to think did some good work on both those committees. But the European Parliament has a lot of scope, and we'll be looking very closely at the opportunities that other committees may present. But this is a process. We're really only just starting.
Where would you like to be then? Because it sounds like you've got other committees in mind where you'd like to now focus your power, if you can get onto that committee. And as you say, it is a process that has to be undergone, and there's a lot of competition for the posts.
Well, I think it's early days really to sort of decide now. But I mean, for instance, if you look at the Environment Committee, a lot of the work I've done over the last 4 years about air pollution, about animal welfare, all come under the auspices of that committee. I've managed to become involved in those issues because I deeply care about what's going on. In a way, it would make a kind of sense to be on a committee that was dealing with it.
In these elections, the Green vote actually went down slightly, but you've ended up with 3 MEPs. What do you make of the election results?
Well, I think it's really important that everyone listens to the election results. Obviously, the big story was the Liberal Democrats collapsed. We're now the 4th largest group in the UK. We also saw a significant increase in the UKIP votes. Now, UKIP were campaigning because they're anti-immigration, anti-EU membership, and that struck a chord with the people in the region. But I think it was significant that every time I opened a newspaper or turned the TV on or radio on, I had Nigel Farage's face in me. And so the media really do actually carry a responsibility for promoting UKIP, 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 UKIP. And actually they didn't mention the Greens, hardly at all. And so it's not really surprising that when people came to vote, they actually voted for UKIP.
You said UKIP's message was a negative one. How are you now going to counter that in the European Parliament?
Well, clearly, I mean, the Greens are pro-Europe, but we actually need to change the way Europe works, democratically more accountable, more transparent. We need to make the most of our membership, and there's some fantastic opportunities there to be part of a larger grouping. And we need to actually realise what those benefits are and explain them to people. At the end of the day, we have a referendum. I mean, the Greens will be campaigning as hard as we can for a yes vote to stay in Europe. But obviously, it's people's decisions, and the Greens respect the fact that we've not asked the people Anybody over under 56 has now had a chance to have a say on Europe, and that is shameful. That needs to happen, and we will play our part of being a positive vision and actually saying what can be done to improve the way that Europe works.